Hey guys, XJ9 here, and today is going to be a perk guide with PvM perks and pretty much best in slot perks, how to get them, and like in cost-effective manners, and even a scavenging forward guide at the end of this video if you're interested about an updated scavenging forward guide. So I'm making this just because there seems to be I don't know, a lot of people request this actually for me, which is interesting, I think I haven't really actually looked at guides, but I'm pretty sure they don't actually go in depth about like how to get things and make things simple. Again, I'm gonna assume that. Well, I actually have some notes here, so I'm gonna actually assume that you have 120 invention because 120 invention is very important along with his extreme invention potion. Uh, don't bother making like best on top perks and stuff if you don't have 120 invention. Uh, it's not hard to get. Just AFK like Erits or something, or like that's what I did. I AFK'd Erits. Just AFK something like Erits or Abyssal Demons. There's a lot of AFK methods. Just look for something, or just I would just AFK something with like Scavenging or something. Well, although you wouldn't have Scavenging, but pretty much just get 120 invention, please. It really isn't hard, and once it's out of the way, your DPS is like 30 to 40% plus DPS boost. So yeah, please do that. Yeah, Invention Master Cape also helps get the rare components from some items. It depends on what you're disassembling, so it's also nice to wear. Also, you have at higher invention levels, you can have junk for chance reduction 9, which helps the money when you're getting these perk items. And also, we're gonna be using a lot of God Redemption 2 materials, and you have to do God Redemption 2 bounties to unlock them, or you have to buy these divine shards from a traveling merchant, or you can get it from the Motherlode Mall. So, in general, the simplest way to do it is just do your Gowers and 2 bounties on the side while getting 120 invention. You can just Google it if you want, or not hard at all. Another thing is if you're ever training something to disassemble, use the XP capacitor. It's a very strong item. It just doubles XP rate, and they're only like a mil each, so really good. What else, guys? I honestly think that's really it. So I'm gonna go right into this. I have a lot of notes, but yeah, not really super scripted, but yeah. So we're gonna start with rain. Yeah, we're gonna start. Well, actually, we're gonna start with magic. Okay. So magic. First off, what's my first perk on this top? Relentless 5, Crackling 4. This perk is going to be in every single top, range, magic, and melee. This perk is just too strong to pass up. It's what do we call it? It's 9 vintage components, or what? No, is it 9? It's 8. Yeah, 8 vintage components. It's on the wiki as well. Again, I actually forgot to say this, but I'm using the PVM best PVM perks wiki. It has all the perks you would ever need. Like it's here it is, optimal PVM perk setup, and you can go to advanced weapon perks and advanced armor perks, and it's right here. Like Relentless 5, Crackling 4. Open this up. You use 8 vintage, use an extreme invention, and there you go. You it's a 1 out of 20, guys. Like so, that's that on how to get that. So you 100% need this with every single top. This is not debatable. Always get this. The next perk that is also on, I believe, every single top. It is on every single top. Is Biting 4. Now, Biting 4 is a really nice perk. However, I think as an underused part of it is getting like biting 4 genocidal, or something like biting 4, you know, undead slayer, demon slayer, and people should really go for that. Don't go for plain biting 4s, because even if you don't get biting 4 genocidal, for example, you'll still get you'll very likely still get biting 4. There's only a very small chance you will get biting 4, and it might feel bad, but it's worth it, and again, it's very unlikely. Also, wait, um, it's very worth it. So please do try to get these like combos with biting 4, where you can get biting 4 genocidal and stuff, because even if you don't get it, you will get biting 4. Another thing is, I mean, that's honestly it with tops. Again, the tops are all Relentless 5, Crackling 4, Biting 4, and something else. It just depends on what you're doing. Like, if I'm doing Carapac, I want Genocidal Biting 4. If I'm doing, whatchamacallit, Elite Dungeons, like 2, you want Biting 4, Dragon Slayer. If you're doing Elite Dungeon 3, Biting 4, Undead Slayer. Another thing you do is biting for mobile if you want. Mobile is not really too useful. It's only useful at like bosses like AOD or Elite Dungeons. Potentially, you don't even need it for those bosses if you use like a bladed dive switch with an Excalibur with mobile. So I'm not really a big fan of mobile, to be honest. So I don't really worry about mobile too much. So yeah, that's that. Uh, what else are we going for? So we're gonna go to legs. So again, tops are done honestly. So you know what? I was gonna bank them. You know, we're not even gonna bank them right now, guys. We're gonna go for legs. So magic's a bit different. So we're gonna go with magic again. So magic legs. These are where it actually depends on what you're doing. So magic. Uh, Devoted Fort, Impatient Fort. You're always gonna have this on your magic legs. You can switch it depending on the boss. Like you might not need devoted, but devote. There's not many good other perks honestly, and it's kind of whatever. So in general, just keep Devoted Fort, Impatient Fort. I also want to note that Impatient Fort, Devoted Fort is on every single piece of equipment here as well. So in general, on all your legs as well, have devoted for and patient for. It's just such a strong combo. You're almost always praying something, and like even flicking if you need to. So devoted is always useful. So that's that. For legs, for well, so I use Invigorating for Energizing too. The only reason I use this is not because I Fortick. I actually don't really like Forticking, and even when I did use the Fortick a little bit, like before the Fracture Staff of Armor was made, I didn't like this perk. I used Enhanced Devoted for. So if you do not have the Fracture Staff of Armor, just use Enhanced Devoted for, and you'll be fine. But if you have the Fracture Staff of Armor, or you Fortick or something, or you just you don't feel like you need the defensive stats, you can use Invigorating for Energizing 2. This is a very strong combo because Invigorating 4 makes your autos gain more adrenaline. So instead of having 2% adrenaline each auto attack from the this Fracture Staff Armor is 2.8. So that adds up to a lot more adrenaline and can help those small adrenaline you might be missing for the next combo. Really good to have on this honestly. Energizing 2 is interesting. So it'll make my rack generate 1.2 more adrenaline, but it says it'll deal less damage. It actually doesn't deal less damage for some reason. That's an incorrect description. Rack and Rune as well doesn't deal less damage, so it makes Rack and Rune generate 1.2% more adrenaline. Very min max. If you don't really care about this, you can get a combo such as let me pull this up again. Optimal PvM perks again. So if I really let's go to magic. It's very simple to use this. So let's look. Invigorating 4. So let's say I didn't care about the damage. Okay, let's just get Invigorating 4. Let's say I'm killing ED2. Okay, I want Invigorating 4 Dragon Slayer. Go here. Okay, so I need four culinary. Not culinary. What did you call it? Oceanic, and like two culinary and like that. These other junk perks, dragon. Like I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. This is why I do like Scavenging 4. Okay, but like these perks again, like you can just look at enhancing components. How do I get those? Dragonfire components. How do I get those? You can just look it up and stuff. Again, Dragonfire is from Dragonfire shields or just AFK Scavenging 4. And this is very easy to get. It should take one try, maybe two tries, and then you can put this on to your leg. So if you don't care about the extra adrenaline, maybe you want mobile. It just really depends on you. But like with me, it's like if I'm just doing care pick, well, I would just use energizing because there's nothing else that's useful. I don't need mobile. You could even potentially use Crystal Shield 1, but it's like that's a bit pricey though for just that. Well, it's not really that pricey actually. It's actually kind of cheap. But it's such a small gain. It's kind of like whatever. I'd rather have the adrenaline gain. Um, I don't know what else. Lucky 2 can potentially be strong as well, but it's kind of rare. Yeah, it's pretty rare. I don't think it's that expensive though. It can actually be pretty darn good, but again, it's just up to you. I don't really get beat up, so I don't really need that. Again, just do whatever you feel like. A very basic combo though is just like energizing 2, or you can just get Dragon Slayer. It just depends on what you're doing. It's very flexible. Um, so that's really with that. But again, if you don't have the Fracture 7 Armor, I would not worry about this. I would just get Enhanced Devoted 4. Okay. So, what else do we need to say about this? Um, well, I also was going to talk about well, this is kind of a messy video, guys, but I don't really care. So, with perks, so, let's kind of talk about, I did talk about how to get Relentless 5. I don't know about how to get Biting 4. I think it's kind of obvious. You would just assemble a Nox weapon. I think the cheapest right now is Noxus Staves. However, bows sometimes go low. So yeah, just assemble Noxus Staves or just AFK with Scavenging 4. Another thing is whatchamacallit. Oh yeah. So to get devoted for and patient for, which is kind of important by the way, is disassemble Ceradomin and Zamorak Maliners. They're really like I don't know. I say relatively cheap. You can buy 100 every 4 hours, and you just disassemble it with 120 invention, max junk chance, and a master invention cape, and you'll get plenty of components to try for this. It should take about 10 tries to get devoted for it and patient for. It's very much how I've always done it. So yeah, you might have to wait a little bit to buy them though, but like just do plus 5% or 10%, and you should get them over time. It just depends on the day, honestly. So that's how you get devoted for and patient for. Just buy Zamorak and Ceradomin Maliners. Pretty easy to get. For example, if you wanted to find out how to get something, you like okay, devoted for and patient for probability 9.46. You go here. Okay, I need Zamorak and Ceradomin components. All you would do is go here, be like, okay, so let's look at impatient. Okay, how do I get Zamorak components? You go here, oh, calculator, and you do effective cost. And like, okay, so this is like the cheapest stuff. So this is all level 9 stuff, which takes time to do. You could also disassemble wards of subjugation if you want. But this is the cheapest thing to do. Is this Zamorak Maliners? Just disassemble these with Master Invention Cape, and yeah, you'll get your. These are the cheapest components to do. Same thing with Ceradomin components. You can just again go here, probability. Okay, devoted because that's up with Ceradomin. We go to Ceradomin, calculator, and then effective cost. And once it's low, yep. So again, Ceradomin. So yep. Why is that? These are cheap as heck. Jeez. Yeah, this is way cheaper than the Zamorak ones. Sheesh. Why is it that cheap? Wait, what? Is this the same one? I don't know. Why is this cheap? Did it crash? I don't know why these are so cheap, but they do give Ceradomin components. So yeah, I guess that's how you do that. That's very strange how cheap those are, but whatever. But I didn't even know they were that cheap. So yeah, you just buy those and you can get plenty. The Zamorak ones are the one that you use the most, which is probably why they're so cheap though. So yeah, it's just mostly the Zamorak that you would be purchasing. Um, that's pretty much that. Again, enhance devoted 4 though. If you are using general perks, just assemble Crystal Flask, you'll be fine. Besides that, that's the magic stuff. Melee is the same thing. You would just use Impatient 4, Devoted 4, and I don't have proper perks on this. Well, no, you would use Enhanced Devoted 4. Use Enhanced Devoted 4 in melee just because, well, melee takes so much damage when it's Zerg, so you actually want maximum damage reduction. You could use something such as Invigorating if you're like sweaty and like auto attack and stuff, but I don't really even do that. But it can be good if you want to use like Invigorating for, Undead Slayer or something, for like Elite Dungeons. But you can just have Biting for Undead Slayer, so I don't see a point in that. Range is interesting. So again, you would I was trying to make Impatient for Devoted 4 for this. I don't actually range that much, so I didn't have Best of Saw in here. I was trying to do it before the video, but I couldn't. But yeah, you would have Impatient for Devoted 4, and uh, if you have if you do not have an Eldritch Bow, just use um Enhanced Devoted 4 in this. But if you do have an Eldritch Bow and use Eldritch a lot, use Lucky 6 Absorptive 1. This combo is very good. So you can potentially, like, if you don't like prayer flicking all the time, you can actually leave Soul Split on, use Disruption Shield and Resonance and stuff, and actually like, just keep your Soul Split on, and Lucky and Absorptive will reduce damage. Lucky's a 3% chance to reduce the damage to 1. So it's actually really good for that. So only with range you would use Lucky 6 Absorptive 1. You could also use Lucky 6 and like Dragon Slayer. Again, this is another flex perk where you can use Lucky 6, d- you know, Genocidal. It doesn't matter. You can also use this for melee actually. If you don't want Enhanced Devoted, and so instead of Invigorating, you can use Lucky 6, you know, Demon Slayer. Same thing for Magic actually. If you don't care about Enhanced Devoted, and you want that flex, you can use Lucky 6 Genocidal. And it's only if you don't have a Fracture Staff or Armortal, you would use this. And if you, whatchamacallit, if you don't value Enhanced Devoted's increased proc chance, and how enhanced devoted works with devoted, then this is better. Enhanced devoted and devoted is very strong in general, just because if enhanced devoted procs, then devoted can proc, and this can have an infinite cycle in theory if you're getting attacked a lot, which is why it's very strong. It's actually incredibly strong for tankiness, but you have to have the overhead of power on. I'm being okay. So for shields now. I actually don't have. I forgot to bring a shield, but for shields like a tier 90 shield, just bring like a turtling 4 in it. The easiest way to get turtling 4 though is to actually make turtling 4 ultimatums 4. You might not get ultimatums 4. You might just get a plain turtling 4, but it's just again, if you go to the wiki, oh, here we are. How to get trolling for ultimatums 4 probability 5%, but like, okay, you use 9 historic components, and there's you can get trolling 4 in like so many different ways. Like, oh, trolling 4 looting, like this is fine. The ultimatums doesn't matter really, it really doesn't. So just try to get trolling 4 by just putting 9 historic with extreme armor, and there you go. Again, this wiki is very easy to use. It might seem complicated, but it really isn't. And wait. So yeah, the other thing I'm gonna go over is Spirit Shields. Spirit Shields are Lucky 6 and Absorptive 1. This is only because you usually just swap this for like 1 second to absorb a big hit, such as Talos is so much power. So, yeah, quite useful. You might as well put Lucky 6 and Absorb 1 just because you're swapping to it for that 1 hit. And, I see my Zamak Monors are buying because I was trying to make that perk. What else? You could potentially put turning 4, but I don't see the point in that, so probably don't do that. Um, Another thing though, I'm gonna talk about the utility aspect is Excalibur. Excalibur, you just want to have mobile. Oh, I just casted 4 camo apparently. You just want to have mobile on it. Easiest way to get it, again, if you look at the wiki, you go to Weapons, Advanced, Utility, Excalibur, Mobile Hoarding, probability 50%. You go here. This is the stuff you use. Use a non-ancient gizmo with no invention potion and 120 invention, and you'll get it. So that's how you get that perk, and that's just for like blade dive switching, or if you want to surge and not have mobile in your armor. So there you go with that. Um, what else to go over? Um, I guess I can go over the like actual weapons soon. Let me make sure my notes that everything's done. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's pretty much everything with armor. So. Whew, that's that. So we're gonna go for weapons now, guys. So for two-handed weapons, such as let's look at I don't know a fractured sapphire armor roll. So as precise 6, ruthless 1, aftershock 4, equilibrium 2, and this is gonna be the same for like pretty much all. Well, I just didn't really fix things, guys, but it's fine. So we're just gonna go over here, and we're gonna look at magic. And how do you get precise 6 ruthless 1? Probability 56%. You go here, 7 armor, 2 time worn, and extreme, and there it is. And that's pretty much how you make this. You need a bunch of armor components. And how to get armor components though is you need to disassemble either armor helmet, gloves, boots, or a shield. Or you could use armor top and legs and augment it and get to level 9 if you're like training somewhere, such as like you're trying to get chroming with your shadow glaives, leveling those up. So you can do that, or just I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of lazy and I like to just disassemble like helmets and stuff. However, there is a buy limit, so if you're short on time and maybe want to be efficient, you can use double shadow glaives with armor top and legs, get to level 9, disassemble and get your armor components, or do the easy method and just use my Scavenging 4 guide at the end of this video to get your armor components, because it's a pain in the ass, honestly. Aftershock 4 equilibrium 2, you look at the probability. You go here, is this 6 on Jankin and 3 Time Worn, and yep, and extremes, and there you go. You just make that, and there you go. And how do you get Jankin components? Well, first off, the Time Worn components, you just buy the crates in the GE. And the Jankin components, just level up Anima Core of body or legs of Zeros to level 9, or the Vindica Spear. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, use the Vindica Spear, level to level 9, and Dragon Rider Lance. And you level up to level 9, and there you go. You just assemble that. But again, this is like one of the more expensive perks. This perk and Biting are the most expensive perks. So the biting is I don't know. Yeah, because whenever I talk about perks, a lot of people get like they don't like how expensive this is, but again, they don't realize how much of a damage boost it really is. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. Again, Invention is the biggest DPS boost you can get from anything. So do it, or just AFK Scavenging 4 if price is such an issue, as you make like 8 mil an hour just AFKing. Um, what else are we gonna talk about right now? So that was with the 2H. So like my Faction 7 Armor has that. My Zero's Godsword has it. My Scythe doesn't have it, but it's kind of outdated. This is in theory like the best in slot, like Equilibrium 4, Ruthless 3, Aftershock 4, Precise 2 for AoEing things. But I would probably swap this out and just put generic Precise 6, Ruthless 1, Aftershock 4, Equilibrium 2, just because like some people use this just for the 2H range, like the halberd range, and this is only slightly better than the regular default best in slot 2H if you actually killed things. So I guess this is really only good for Slayer. If you do a lot of Slayer, you can probably use Ruthless 3 and Equilibrium 4, honestly. But if you don't really do Slayer and do a lot of PvM, I would probably just put this onto, just put Precise 6, Ruthless 1, Equilibrium 4, Equilibrium 2, Aftershock 4 on the Scythe instead. But like if you just do Slayer, then this is the best thing for Slayer. So but I wouldn't really worry about it too much because again this is more of a PvM guide, not a Slayer guide. Uh, what else? I guess we can go with the offhands. Or should I go with the offhands? Well, no, the range 2Hs are a bit different. So the range 2Hs now, like again that so melee and magic are pretty much the same. With range, you actually do something different. Use Precise 6, Aftershock 1, Chroming 4, Equilibrium 2. So again, if you want to know how to get that, go to the PvM wiki, ranged, Precise 6, Aftershock 1. How do you get it? It says 7 Armble, 2 in Jinkin, and then there you go. You just make that. I told you I already had to get those materials. Chroming 4, Equilibrium 2. You go here. You need 6 shadow components and 3 time worn. And yeah, to get shadow components, it's kind of pricey. You need to. How I do it is I get 2 main hands, 1 offhand shadow glaive, and augment them. Have chroming 4 or like a failed chroming 4 Equilibrium 2 on it. Like if you fail, you'll end up with chroming 4 like Ruthless 1. So you can just use that on like the main hand or offhand, and just level those up, and then just disassemble it. Or again, just AFK Scavenging 4 until you have a ton of components. But yeah, you just I just did that at Abyssal Demons. I just AFK Abyssal Demons to level up my stuff. You can do like shadow rolls for like really fast XP, but I'm lazy as hell and I don't like doing that. So yeah, I also haven't died at shadow rolls and I don't want to ruin that record. So yeah, I got to World 200 without dying. So that's that. So that's how you get the ricochet on that. Uh, the same thing for like Eldritch. It's the exact same perks. It's range 2H will always use Precise 6, Aftershock 1, Equilibrium 4, Equilibrium 2, Chroming 4. For my range dual wield though, my offhand has load, Chroming 4, Equilibrium 2, and Precise 6, Aftershock 1. So again, it's actually the same exact perks. Some people are all super sweaty and bring like Aftershock 4, Equilibrium 2 on their offhand for the damage boost and like swap to like a ricochet. Like I don't do that. That's like too much effort and like I'm gonna be honest, I think they macro it. So yeah, no thank you. What else? So we're gonna talk about offhands for like magic and melee now, because again, melee is kind of the same thing where you use the main hands for magic and melee are the same thing. So with melee, I'm using Precise 6 Aftershock 1. It's just like the main hand for ranged, and offhand is Aftershock 4 Equilibrium 2. It's the same thing with my magic, like my defender Aftershock 4 Equilibrium 2, and it's the same exact it's this DPS. And the reason I put it on the defender is because, well, I actually use the defender as damage. The wiki says to bring like Ruthless 3, but I don't do mob killing. I actually do PvMing with my defender, so that's why I do that. And again, with my wand, Precise 6 Aftershock 1, it's the main hands are all the same. One thing I do though is with my wand, the Praise. I have Chroming for Precise 2. It's a 6% less damage because my precise is precise 2 instead of precise 6. But I use this as if I'm kind of lazy at Arc Laker, and I like camping this wand at Arc Laker for the chroming for the minions. Because I'm mostly using my Staff of Armor anyway for damage, so it doesn't really matter that much. So, and also sometimes I might be using a shield and I want my chroming, like say I'm doing Telos. So that's why I put it on the wand. You could potentially like do the same thing with range where you get whatchamacallit, I don't know, a chroming for Eclipse 2 offhand, honestly. But I it's for what I do, it's not really that useful, so I just put it on a wand. I don't know if that's even that optimal, but it works for me, honestly. So that's what I do. Tainted Repriser though, or well, it's not tainted. It's like Hellfight Repriser. It has only chroming for Eclipse, the Ruthless one, just because I never actually perked it that much. But you would want the same thing as your offhand Blight, which is chroming for Eclipse 2. Just because, well, you're gonna be killing a boss probably. This is useful if you're using a defensive or maybe even camping defender just to learn the boss. What else? Flanking. So flanking. My melee one has flanking for Eclipse 1. It's kind of annoying to get flanking for Eclipse 1 because it's like 80 mil, and flanking tends not to level up to like level 15. So if they ever make a new weapon, or you plan, like say you're upgrading from tier 90 to tier 95 offhand or something, you can't really take it out. But offhand damage barely matters, so the difference between like a tier 90 to tier 92 offhand is like, I don't know, 30 damage. It's like so low, it's like insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And flanking usually hits the hit cap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Although with melee, it kind of matters more because, well, you have the core of the Lang weapons, the Dark Shard of Lang and Dark Sliver of Lang, which can make you hit above the hit cap. So I would say with melee, it's important to have flanking 4 Eclipse 1, but with magic and range, you can just have a flanking 4. Flanking 4 is very easy to get. First off, to get the clockwork components, just AFK, not AFK, buy the whole can sets from the dwarf in Falador, the Falador mine. I'm sure you guys know who he is. Just Google it, dwarf can, and you just buy the dwarf can from, and just disassemble it. Wear the 120 invention cape with junk chance, and you'll get your clockwork components. That's the best way to get them. Don't buy clockworks; they take way too long to get clockwork components. And yeah, you just disassemble those. And if you're just going for, again, flanking 4, it's very easy. If you're going for flanking 4 Eclipse 1, it's quite pricey. However, if you AFK with Scavenging 4, it's essentially free. So I would only bother with flanking 4 Eclipse 1 if you're AFKing with Scavenging, honestly. Or you're a sweaty melee person for some reason. What else do we use? That's a lot of things I went over. Did I ever go over Planet Feet? I don't think I did. So yeah, my Planet Feet is a Sour Wand and an Augmented Shadowglaive. Planet Feet Aftershock 1. You want Aftershock 1 so you don't lose your Aftershock stacks in case, like, say if I have a 2H on and I swap to only my main hand and my Ring of Rigor, you don't want to lose your Aftershock stack, so that's a DPS loss. So that's why it has that. And if you want to look how to get it, here we go. Planet V, Aftershock 1, 100% chance with a regular weapon gizmo. 2 Jenkin, 3 Sour, and that's how you make it. It's 100% chance of it. You do not mess this up. 120 invention, no potion. So please don't mess it up, because some people act like it's really expensive when it isn't. Planet V is also a ginormous damage increase. We're almost done. So, what else? I mean, that's pretty much that with that. Link of Spirit, 74. Okay, so the only other thing I haven't covered is actually my Masterwork Spear. Because I only use it as a bleed, I actually put Aftershock 4 and Lunging 4 on this, just because I'm not actually attacking with this. However, if, like, for example, if we go to melee here with advanced weapon perks, it says the best is like Precise 6, Aftershock 1, Lunging 4 equaling 2. This is only if you auto attack with this thing, and that's like kind of sweaty, so I don't auto attack with it at all. Again, it even says you can use, if you're only using them for bleeds, Lunging 4 and Aftershock 4 are the best. You also should get Aftershock 4s automatically from trying to get Aftershock 4 Eclipse 2, because if it fails, you'll end up with Aftershock 4. Keep all those Aftershock 4s. They'll be useful for, I don't know, various things, honestly, if you want to keep Aftershock on things. So it's, for example, it's useful for this. Also, wait. Um, but if you're like camping this, like say like you're some new melee guy, and you bought the Master Spear. Master Spear is insane DPS if you're just camping and you're like super chill PvMer. But Precise 6, Lunging 1, Aftershock 4, Equilibrium 2 on this, and you'll do tons of damage. This is only put this if you're camping it, and you'll do fine damage. Like, you know, your solo PvMer doing like Raksha, doing Arc Laker, just use this, and you'll do great damage. And you, again, you can just click on here. Oh, how do you get this? Oh, it's just, again, just all the sources are here. Lunging, though, to get Lunging 4 is a 100% chance to get. All you would need to do is have 6 Avernic components. Again, just have Scavenging 4, or just disassemble those Twin Fury swords, the main hand or offhand. You can also level them up to level 9, but it's kind of a pain. So I recommend not even doing that. It's kind of a waste of time. Just disassemble them, or just have Scavenging, honestly. It's kind of expensive, but it's a 100% chance, so it's not really that hard. I think it's like less than 20 mil to get Lunging for. Um, the only other thing, yeah, only other thing I haven't covered is the wiki even covers it, but I don't have it because I don't really do Raksha, honestly. Is Lania's Spear. It's the same damage as the Scythe, but a lot cheaper. And those little pools of anima that spawn, this is the best thing to use for one-shotting them, is have Precise 6 Aftershock 1 and Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3. Precise 6 is for the highest damage possible against the pools. Equilibrium 4 is just to make sure you hit that 1,000 damage, and Ruthless 3 is to so your damage goes up to ensure you get the 1,000 damage off. So Lania's Spear with these perks is how you can one-shot the animal pools at Raksha with ease, with like melee prayer and everything, and probably not deal with stress. So yeah, if you do Raksha, try this out. Lania's Spear with these perks, and you'll do just fine. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that's pretty much it. Um, the only other thing I haven't covered is Scavenging 4. Scavenging 4 is pretty easy to get. You know, to get the perks, you just disassemble. You could make Rings of Slaying by going to, like, let's say I want to make Rings of Slaying right now. Let's go to Prif. But if you don't have Rings of Slaying, you can just assemble like diamond bracelets, or like the enchanted version, or like Amulets of Glory if you're a bit pricey. You can also just use the auto disassembler. Like, for example, if you go over here and look at armor, you know what? I don't even think the Scavenging even here, guys. So, you know, 1 second. So, we're gonna look up Scavenging 4 quick, guys. So, Scavenging 4, you need precious components. So you go to precious components, materials precious. So again, I was at the Scavenging 4 wiki. You go to precious components. Oh, calculator, disassembler. Put junk chance 9. Um, are you gonna be using a auto disassembler? Yeah, I'm gonna be using an auto disassembler. So let's look at the math per hour. So okay, what's a good way to do this? So do. Let's go down. So Amulet Glory can be okay. It's 70k an hour. Ring of Slaying, you can put. I'm not even sure we can put these in, honestly. You might have to have hands assemble them. This is the cheapest way to do it, though, if you're like on a budget or something or don't really care. You can disassemble those. Another cheap thing is Amulet Powers. Amulet Powers are quite cheap, and disassemble those. You can also just hand disassemble these with like an Adventure Master Cape. Although no, that wouldn't help because it's rare component. So you can also just hand disassemble these if you really want to hurry to get that Scavenging 4. Diamond bracelet's good. Again, you just look at this and you just decide. I would just recommend just doing like either Ring of Slaying, make those, or just diamond necklace, diamond ring. Everything else is kind of like ooh. Sapphire ring's okay, but it's kind of slow. But if you want to make your Ring of Slaying, I'm pretty sure everyone even knows this, but you go here and you scroll down. Where the heck are my yeah? So you buy the enchanted gem pack. You buy a bunch of them. And how many do they have? They have 50. So you just buy those, and you can make like 550 Slayer rings, disassemble all those, and you'll have a bunch of precious components, and you can probably get your Scavenging 4. And if we look quick, let's go back. Scavenging 4 is with Ancient Armor. We're not doing a weapon. 9 precious, no extreme invention, 120 invention. So you can potentially get this at like, for example, extreme invention. What happens with 103? So Scavenging 4, looting 124. Yeah. So if you're like 103 invention, you can drink an extreme invention, and you can probably get it if say you're training and you want to get those components early. Sure, it's not honestly the biggest deal. Probably just wait for 120. So you actually don't want to use an extreme. Use a regular no potion, armor, ancient gizmo, and yeah, you'll get that in within 25 tries. You might even get it alone, which is even lucky. But yeah, you really just want scavenging for looting or scavenging for, and then you just have to go. And I'll be honest, that's it with PvM perks. Honestly, it's not that hard. Again, I really you can use the entry level perks, but they're kind of shitty, honestly. And I just never advise anyone the PvM unless they just max out their invention, because like without max invention stuff, it's awful. The bosses are harder than ever, and I think it can honestly make people not learn as fast because they're not used. Because the difference between like a mid-geared player and a high-end player with like just invention perk is ginormous. So just get 120 invention. Like I'm just get 120 invention, overloads, and herb load. Like elder overloads are not even that big of a deal. Just use regular overloads. Like at least supremes. You'll be fine. But invention, please get it to 120 and just get best in stock perks. It's not that expensive. It's like less than 500 mil. Please, thank you. Um, we're gonna go to my bank fast, and we're gonna load up my preset for uh my scavenging 4 guide. Just like that, guys. We're doing a scavenging 4 guide all of a sudden, guys. So I actually hate this song here, so we're actually going back to Drainer because I hate Elf City's annoyance. So there's a lot of things to talk about with my scavenging 4 guide. So first off, we're gonna be killing corpse skeletons. Not corpse spiders. Corpse skeletons are slightly faster than corpse spiders. Only if you're using a smoke devil pouch. If you are not using a smoke devil pouch, they're about the same kills per hour. So if you're like an Iron Man or something, you can just kill corpse spiders and do just fine. You'll have the same kills per hour. But if you're like a mainscaper like me, you can use this guide with their smoke devil pouches. So what am I gonna explain? Okay, so first off, relics. I think the best assault relics is probably what you call it. I don't think Fury of the Small matters at all because you're not using any threshold, so I don't think that actually matters. The only thing that really matters is having upgraded Bone Crusher from I believe it's from I don't know what it's called. That ports thing. But just Google it. It's upgraded Bone Crusher. Get that somehow, and if you upgrade your Bone Crusher, you and have the I don't know what the perk's called. You know what? We're gonna go to the bank really fast, guys, and we're gonna really look at what the heck this is even called because they name things stupid things. So we're gonna put relic. So we put arc. So we put archaeology gate. What is that perk called? It's called Death Note. All guaranteed bones and ash drops are noted. This makes all the skeleton drops their bones will go to your backpack automatically with the upgraded Bone Crusher. So you can get about 5,000 bones an hour, which is like 1.5 mil an hour, about close to it. So yeah, that adds up a lot of money. If you do this for like 100 hours, that's like 150 mil. So that's really nice. So you make money like raw GP out of this as well. But again, you do need the upgrade Bone Crusher. It's from the White Cocoa place, so do that if you haven't. It's not that hard to get, as far as I know. You can also do Elite Dungeons to want to get chimes and upgrade the Bone Crusher that way. Like, let's guys, we're even gonna Google upgraded Bone Crusher. You also add it to your tool belt. I have it in my tool belt, so you might actually need it in your inventory. But to upgrade Bone Crusher upgrade. Yeah, you upgrade to talk to Bonnie on White Cup for 2,500 triumphs and 25 Taiju. Again, I would look how to do the arc, and because that's really cheap. Just look how to do the arc and get some 25 chimes and do some ED1 if you haven't to get to that. I don't know. But it's not the biggest deal. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's not a whole lot of money compared to like the 7 mil plus, 8 mil plus you're gonna be making from perks, like the rare components and stuff. What else can we talk about? So there's a few things. So first off, I have a spring cleaner. Spring cleaner is not really needed. It's very minor. It disassembles the bronze salvage because you go to operate salvage. It's going to disassemble the bronze salvage. It really doesn't matter. I don't think you're really getting much out of it, but you know what? There you go. It just cleans up some drops, gets some free components. XP capacitor. This ever so slightly. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think it really helps that much because like I was testing the skeletons for like 20 minutes. I got no experience, so you might not even need the XP capacitor. Honestly, you can probably ignore this. But in theory, if it gives experience, you can level this up very slowly. So you can probably ignore this honestly. Uh, home teleports, teleport to house scrolls. Why do I have this? To teleport to house to repair my like stuff, such as if I was using Cinder Brains. But in this case, I'm going to be using unaugmented superior ceasing robes, a full set actually. A superior hood, gloves, bottoms, and boots. This is because the fourth set bonus is chance to loot a ports resource crate when you defeat an opponent. This adds up to be like an extra additional, I think, 1 or 2 mil an hour, which is quite nice. So yeah, if you have superior ports armor, do use this. You could potentially also use, I believe, like maybe even the melee or range one if you could have that. But I think most would have the magic one. I'm not sure if you would splash, but if you don't have this, not the biggest deal. If you do not have superior ports armor, just bring subjugation or nothing. It doesn't even honestly matter that much. So just bring subjugation. It won't degrade at all, and it's nice. But I'm only bringing this for super min max ports resources, which can add up to a lot if you AFK this for a very long time. Besides that, again, that's the repair. And if you don't actually have this and use regular uh, War Priest armor, you actually don't need these house teleport tablets. This is just a repair. Uh, I have 20,000 Dust Devil scrolls. You use about, I think, 500 an hour. I also have 6 pouches. This is for 6 hours with the Anachronia totem. This is also 6 hours worth of flasks. There's 10 flasks total, so 10 aggression potions, flasks, and 6 smoke devils is literally 6 hours of AFKing. Also have divine charges to recharge my divine charges, so I don't need to bank. Also, spirit weed incense sticks for my smoke devil to do more specs faster and just always spec, which adds up to a lot more kills per hour. It's like 500 more kills, or like 200 at least. And besides that, I also use potion reservoirs. I'll get to this later. I'll save that for last. So another thing is Tower and Quiver. I just use this for the teleport to like, I don't know. It's just a teleport to Harmony Pillars. It doesn't really matter. You actually don't even need this. You can just ignore this slot. Uh, if you don't have a Staff of Limitless Air, you can just use a like a rune pouch or something. But like, yeah, if you have a Staff of Limitless Air, which I use, you have infinite air runes. I'll go over this soon. Ring, I use Reaver's Ring. If you don't have Reaver's Ring, you just use like a Luck of the Dwarves or something. I don't think you can get Hazelmere's Ring from this, but yeah, I just use this for the crit chance and damage. Salve Amulet is just for the damage, just to one shot the skeletons as easy as possible. Tokar Cape is just the most damage possible, and it's just an easy cape to have. And I'm gonna go over the perks on this. So Augmented Staff of Limitless Air is you can Google how to make it. It's from like a treasure trial item, and yeah, you just have infinite air runes, so you actually don't use any money with air runes. So this is really good for Ironman as well. And the perks, the best slot perks with this is Equilibrium 4, Ruthless 3, Chroming 4, Ruthless 1. I'm gonna be honest. The most important thing is chroming. I don't think you really need Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3. It's not that hard to get if you have 120 Invention though, which is when you would be doing this anyway. So if you do have it, yeah, just get Equilibrium 4 Ruthless 3 on top of it just to make sure you can one-shot everything. This is also not best in slot. Chroming 4 Planet Feet is best in slot, but I don't think it actually matters that much because I think you one-shot anything anyways without Sunshine, so I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of I need to examine that because, for example, my bar. If you go to my bar here, it has Sunshine, Tsunami, Greater Chain, Dragon Breath, Corruption. I'm not sure if you need Sunshine. If you don't need Sunshine, it means the what you call it. You don't need Planet Feet, and you should probably even get rid of Sunshine in your bar because it's actually going to be lowering your kills per hour. It requires some testing. I would test it yourself if you can't if you notice you're not one-shotting things with like Dragon Breath, Sonic Wave, Rack, then Sunshine is useful. But if you are one-shotting things without Sunshine, just get rid of Sunshine in your bar, just toss it to the side, and just have Tsunami, Greater Chain, and Dragon Breath. What else to go over? Okay, so there's different ways to AFK this. The one way is you can use aggro pots and just drink these every 6 minutes and leave it at that. The other way is to use Scrimshaw of Aggression. Scrimshaw of Aggression is interesting, where it'll keep on aggroing things to you, and they'll keep attacking you, just like an aggro pot. The wiki is weird, where it says only one thing can be aggroed you at a time. This is actually not the case, and I will demonstrate this. They just keep aggroing you back to back to back, as if it's like a regular aggro pot. However, after like a minute or two, it just stops working for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then it works again. So if you want like slightly less kills an hour, but like max AFK, use the Scrimshaw, because you don't. All you would need to do is just click, and that's it. And oh, click, and then if your familiar's dying, yeah, you just summon it again or just refill it. That's all you would need to do. So this Scrimshaw is really good if you don't mind slightly less kills an hour, but max AFK. Maybe you're an Iron Man or something, but I don't think Iron Man can really get these easy. So oh well, guys. Um, or besides that, you can use Potion Reservoir. Potion Reservoir is very good for AFKing actually. All you would do is you would activate this. You would activate one, then you would right-click the aggression flask and use it in the potion, and then it's filled. And then all you need to do is click switch on this, which is one click, and it'll drink the aggression potion. And then once the aggression potion is the 1 to 15 seconds left, it'll automatically drink the next sip. So for the next 30 minutes, you'll be fine. You will keep drinking your aggression potion for 30 minutes. The only thing you would need to do though, and keep in mind, is when you drink the last dose, you would need to click activate again, right click aggression potion, and fill the potion reservoir again. And then once the 6 minutes up is from your previous potion, you just click on it and it's good to go for another 30 minutes. So it's a good 24-30 minutes of AFK, which is quite nice. Because again, this method is really good if you're just not paying attention at all. So that's really honestly it. Again, my ability bar is right here. We're also not going to be using prayer. Auto Vitality on, Revolution plus plus on. Again, Sunshine, Tsunami, Greater Chain. You just use regular chain, it doesn't matter. Dragon Breath, Corruption Blast, Sonic Wave, and there's a bunch of random basics. I just put these weak things first because they should one-shot everything. And we're going to go, let's wait. So, to get there, we're going to go to Lumbridge. Go to Lumbridge, we're going to go to Catacombs. And we're going to hope no one's here. So we go down here, go down the stairs just like we would before. Go downstairs. Yep, and we're going to walk past the corpse spires. We're not doing corpse spires anymore, guys. Okay, looks like no one's here, which is good, because it would be a pain, honestly. So we're going to surge a little bit just to speed things up. So this is important. This is very important where you stand. This is where you stand. So have your camera positioned like mine. North is to the east. And you see this rock? Okay, this is where I am. There's the pillar. There's this rock. Stand right here. This is the exact spot. This is the most kills per hour. There's another spot, but it's like 5 kills less. And yeah, this is the most kills per hour. It's just because like where they spawn. This is like where they all clump up. So there's different ways to do this. So again, if you want, you can start doing your sticks. Summon a pouch. Put it in your scrolls, and at that point you're ready to go. So for example, I'm going to show how the aggression scrimshaw works. So we put this on, and just chill. And you'll notice they'll aggro to me without me, like, they'll constantly aggro, which is very interesting. So, like, look, that guy attacked me. This one just aggroed. Like, they're all aggroing to me. So the scrimshaw, like, got buffed or something, because they're supposed to only aggro when you're not in combat anymore. So they got buffed or they're bugged. But you'll notice after, like, I'm not sure if I'll let it go for that long, but it'll stop attacking. It'll stop working after like 2 minutes, but then it'll work again. So it might even stop working right now, which is interesting. Nope, it's working still. So that's that. What other things to note though? Oh, so if you're using a scrimshaw of aggression, you actually don't need these aggression flasks, and you can just fill your inventory full of smoke devil pouches and scrolls, and just max them AFK for like I don't know, 12 hours plus. That'd be funny. Just leave it on the side on your phone, right? You could, because again, this all you need is like you have this a 24-hour scrimshaw. Have this on your phone. Oh, you look at your phone. I'm just gonna click, done. Like, I don't need any prayer. The sticks aren't even that important, but like, yeah. Oh, an hour passed, so I'm just gonna click my sticks. Who cares? Like, oh, they ran out. Who cares? And And all you really need to do is just summon your Smoke Devil and use your you put your scrolls back in. I believe you could also fill your the pouch easily somehow. So how do you fill this? New familiar, call familiar, store your familiar attack, cast your set the all for very. So does this? I don't. Oh yeah. So yeah. So look, store max scrolls. So if you want, instead of having to click on your scrolls and clicking on the familiar, you can just go to your familiar tab and just like have this on. You can like, for example, if I wanted to, I can have this over here, and all I would need to do is like, oh, I'm just gonna click this. Oh look, went back to 500. So all you would need to do is just max AFK, scrimshaw aggression's on. Oh, my familiar's using things. I'm just gonna refill it. And yeah, that's it. Honestly, oh, spam those sticks. Summon another familiar. And that's it. But if you but we're gonna turn this scrimshaw on. This is like max AFK. But again, there is a weird bug, I guess, where it just stops working. So with Potion Reservoir, we're gonna demonstrate this. Oh, my familiar is just going crazy and destroying everything. Jesus. It might even be just my familiar aggroing it. I'm not even sure. The familiar aggro is probably very strong, honestly. It might even just be my familiar. I might be, but the scrimshaw aggression is still very viable. That might honestly explain it. But we're gonna switch this on. Switch, and now it's on. So this thing, once I go to, it's about to run out, it'll just automatically drink, and then you just, once it's on its last dose, and then you drink the last dose, activate, use the aggression potion, and then wait for it to run out, and then when it's like a minute left, or like 10 seconds if you're super optimal, you can just drink it again. You can even do it early if you want max AFK, but again, they do require aggression flask. Also, right now, the price of aggression flask versus aggression scrimshaw. The scrimshaw is about, I think, 100k more an hour. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I might very much prefer using the scrimshaw just because it's way less effort. Because you don't need to keep drinking the potion; just leave it on. Another thing is if you are doing the potion reservoir method, you need a flask and you need this base components and 5 clear components. Clear components are very easy to get. Just buy like cut rubies or cut sapphires or cut emeralds, and just put it in the auto disassembler, MK2, and yeah, there you go. You just get all those components, and that's a very easy way to get it. They're also very cheap because of Coraces as well. They're very cheap to get. So the potion reservoirs are very easy to make. So that's that. And to be honest, that's that. I'm pretty much done. Another cool thing is if you have that Death Note thing on, you can keep track of how many kills per hour you're getting with this little tracker here. So because it's keeping track of how many you're killing. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. If you like this guide, I'll leave a comment. Kind of long, I guess, but it's kind of informative. Tell your friends, right? If any questions, just ask. But I try to make this as not as complex as possible. Again, rule of thumb: just get 120 mention, and then just make perks. Please don't PvM without 120 mention. Like, it might sound elitist. It really isn't. It's just don't make this game harder than it needs to be, honestly. But yeah, also have this on air search. It's very important because you might as well because it's infinite air. So yeah, bye.